I've done a deep video. We've done a real explorative video around the Ben White issue that you'll see in a minute at TalkSport. But I'm just so gutted. This whole Ben White saga is so upsetting, isn't it? It's so annoying. He is such a good player, and England could really do with him. Imagine him playing centre-half with John Stones. Think about the form that he has been in. He has undoubtedly been one of Arsenal's star performers on this outrageous run that they have been on since they had their holiday camp in Dubai. The turn of the year, they have looked like a serious force, and Ben White has arguably been their best player. It's just so annoying. I'm gutted. I'm annoyed with White. I think we need him, and I just think this whole thing is so avoidable. Like, even if you aren't a patriot, even if he's not a patriotic man, even if he doesn't care about England as an entity or a football team, surely he just wants to be part of this. Surely just his innate competitiveness, his innate will to win, which he obviously has, to be the footballer that he is. He obviously has that desire, that burning, striving desire, desperation to get to the very top. It's impossible to be as good at football as he is without that desire. And yet, he isn't playing. Really upsetting. I feel like this is the first moment of Gareth Southgate's England career where this is, he's losing it. He's losing the dressing room. There are problems, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to solve them. Look, I delved into this deeply on this video, but I just wanted to say that at the start. Let me know your thoughts about the rest of the video coming up now.
So Gareth Southgate says that there's no problem between him and Ben White personally. There's no issue with his assistant coach, Steve Holland, and Ben White, as had been rumoured after that World Cup. Ben White has asked via Edu to not play for England and not be involved in this squad. Rory Jennings, what do you make of this situation?
I think it's a real shame. I think it's really sad for everyone involved. I'm disappointed because I rate Ben White very highly. I think he's an excellent player. I think you could easily argue that this calendar year he has been Arsenal's best and most important player. If you think about the run that they've been on, they've won 8 games in a row, and he is probably one of the major reasons as to why. You know, you look at the way that he performs in both boxes. You see the impact that he has on Arsenal when they're trying to score from set pieces, which they do invariably. You look at how he defends so robustly. You look at the quality when in possession. You know, 2 assists against Brentford. Huge. He's an excellent player. And I am aware that I'm building him up here, and it is all true what I'm saying, but I am about to chop him down because, look, I'm disappointed, but I'm also slightly disgusted. Like, what do you mean you don't want to play for your country? What do you mean you don't want to represent England? Like, who on earth do you think you are to say no to England? England needs you. We're in a situation where Ben White is so good that I would actually make a case that Ben White should start for England, not even in the position that he plays. That's how good I think he is. I would argue that Ben White should start for England in his former position as a centre-half alongside John Stones. That is a testament to his brilliance, because I think that he has been so good this season that you actually play him for England over players who have been playing in their rightful position when he's been playing out of position.
Do you know what makes it frustrating for me is, like you say, it's not like Ben White is another one of the attacking talent. It's not like he's a player that would definitely be just sat on the bench and waiting to take his chance. This is a player that could easily be in that starting 11 for England. He's a player that we need. He's a player that, you know, he can start as centre-back. He can start as a wing-back. He's put in some fantastic performances, as you say, for Arsenal this season. And I know what you mean about the playing for your country. But the thing is, if you even put that aside, if you even put aside the fact that, you know, he might not want to represent England for one reason or another, surely as a footballer, you would look at this chance to go to the Euros and win a trophy, a big trophy, the first for England for years and years and years. Surely you would look at that and think, we've got an unbelievable chance. I want to be a part of that. That's the thing, as a fan, I just can't get my head around.
I can't either. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't correlate with anything that I understand about being a footballer. Like, Ben White is an excellent footballer. We've seen that when he was playing for Bielsa. We've seen it at Brighton, and we've seen it at Arsenal. He's a fantastic player that can contribute and has the skill set to link up with the likes of Foden and Saka and Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham. How do you not want to do that? How is that not just something that inspires you? And look, what will always chime with me far more, I follow England. You know, I've done 4 England tournaments away. I've done countless England home and away games. I will always empathise with somebody who wants to play for England, and it will never resonate with me if you don't. I'm very much... Do you remember David Beckham? When David Beckham said, I will never retire for England. So if he got a call up now, he would always do his best for England. That is what I relate to. That makes sense to me.
Well, it's what a lot of England fans relate to, let's be fair.
Ben White choosing to not be part of an England team, going to Germany, surely just for the fun of it. Like, it'd be an amazing experience.
Yeah. With the best chance of winning a tournament.
And he starts.
For a long
And he
time.
definitely starts in... He's centre half. Like, you know, when we talk about who's going to play centre half, you know, you could make a valiant case for Mark Gay here if you want. You could make a valiant case for Victor Mori if you want. I don't know, maybe Lewis Dunk if you want.
Well, we're going to come on to that in a minute, by the way.
But the answer is Ben White. So the fact that Ben White has done, I find the sneeriness, I find turning your nose up when your country needs you, I think it's appalling. I really do. I think it's appalling. What's happening, everyone? Do not go anywhere. This is on a need-to-know basis, and trust me, you need to know. Everybody needs a bit of VPN action in their life. Trust me on this. I didn't even know what a VPN was that long ago. I got involved with it, and it changed everything. NordVPN provides a wonderful service. It's so affordable. It's comparable to the price of a cup of coffee, and guess what? One account allowed you to link it to 6 different devices. So you could give it to your mum for access. You could give it to your girlfriend for access. You could give it to your wife for access. You could give it to your dad for access. And you could still have some spare, all off the back of one single purchase. There is also absolutely no risk, absolutely no jeopardy, because for some reason you don't like it. For some reason it doesn't quite chime with you. You've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can really experiment, find out, does Nord work for you when you book your holidays? It stops websites tracking you, so you do get the best price. Sometimes you might want to watch films that aren't necessarily available in your location. You may want to watch football matches. Not me, but you may want to watch football matches that aren't available in your location. It's not possible without a VPN. NordVPN allows you to do that. You will never see that annoying message on Twitter ever again. You know when you want to watch a goal and it says it's not available in your location? It is now. So use my link in the description box below. It's NordVPN/Rory. And if you use that, you will get 4 extra months completely for free. That's NordVPN.com/Rory. The link is in the description box below.
Can I just ask you one question, though? Because what we heard there from Gareth Southgate is that he said, look, he said no, he doesn't want to play. Okay. And then he said, I don't really know why, but, you know, there's no issue between me and him. If you were Gareth Southgate, and I just want your opinion on this, would you not be trying to fight tooth and nail to try and convince him to get into this team? Or would you be there like, do you know what, you don't want to play, fine,
absolutely not. No, 100% no.
I don't think
he should ever play for England again, even post. That my approach would be that Ben White doesn't play for England ever again. You turn your back on your country when they need you? No, absolutely not. Regardless of when a new manager comes in.
Oh, really? So
what
if it came out? What if when, and we're massively speculating here, we don't really know the full facts, of course, but imagine if, you know, Gareth Southgate leads and suddenly Ben White's like, oh yeah, I'll turn up again. You're saying, no, don't care.
I'm saying that
disrespected the last manager, you're not playing for England.
It isn't, when your country call you up, it isn't about any individual. It's about your country needing you. We have been waiting since 1966 to try and win some silverware, and we have half a chance here. It isn't about
more than half a chance.
If you don't like Southgate, that should be completely irrelevant. What we're trying to achieve is so much grander than your pathetic, is there an issue with Southgate or isn't there? Like, grow up if there is, grow up if there isn't, and just get on with it, do the job. Ben White happens to have been blessed and have worked incredibly hard to have a talent. His country need that talent, and he says no. He's going to be busy in Dubai or doing whatever he does. You know,
Gareth Southgate, and I don't know. When he spoke today, I kind of thought we'd hear a bit more of his side of it, and kind of hear him say, "Oh, well, you know, actually there has been a bit of a disagreement." But it's the fact he's there going, "No, the door's open."
Do you know what?
The door's open.
If there has been a proper issue, so say there is a legitimate reason, and we don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, we don't.
Say something did happen in Qatar, as social media was speculating. Something big happened in Qatar. Steve Holland and Ben White clashed, and Ben White now says, because of that clash, I cannot go. I want to go. I pledge full loyalty to my country. I'd love to be able to help the lads, but it is impossible at the moment because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
If that is the case, then I think we have a right to know. If it isn't the case, if it's simply, I don't know, I want a summer holiday. I don't care about international football, I guess. I don't. It's not something that I can ever understand. And I just think it's such a shame. Because England's
it's a shame,
chances,
isn't it?
It's a real shame. But I think Ben White has made the wrong decision.
All I can imagine, Rory, to be honest with you, is him maybe sitting in Dubai or wherever, or sitting on the sofa when he's relaxing this summer and maybe watching England win the Euros and maybe thinking, I could have been part of that squad. Could have been part of that piece of history. But I don't know, maybe it's something that doesn't float his boat. It's just bizarre
it doesn't
in my
make
head.
sense being a footballer, though.
It doesn't make sense.
Isn't the point of being a footballer like for the constant improvement and the constant challenge and the constant pursuit of top tier silverware? Isn't that how you become one of the best footballers in the league? And he is that. And yet he doesn't have this sheer drive. Like, when Carragher said he didn't want to play for England anymore, it wasn't the same. Carragher said it because he couldn't get in the team. There were so many centre-halves that I rated Carragher very highly. I think he's a brilliant player. But he just happened to exist at a time where he couldn't get a game. Carragher played for this England team. This is a totally different situation. And this just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Let me ask you a bit about the rest of the squad as well. Just want your opinions on a few things. Firstly, Aaron Ramsdale gets a call-up. Hasn't played a lot of football now. And there's been big calls for Jack Butland, who plays for Rangers, has been banging form in the Scottish League. Are you surprised at the fact, firstly, that Ramsdale's in the squad, and secondly, that Butland hasn't got a call-up?
I think it should have been Butland. I don't think you can take Ramsdale now. I really don't. Regardless of what you think of him. So I rate Ramsdale as a goalkeeper very highly. I think if you look at his performances over the last 2 years, not this season, last season, and crucially the season before, he was immense. Very good season last season as Arsenal nearly won the league. He's a very good goalkeeper, but I think there's loads going on that we don't know. There's loads going on, the way that he conducts himself. I don't think you can have him around the camp, and I don't think you can rely on him. So I don't think it's poor that he's not in. And yes, Butland should be. Yeah,
Butland. So obviously the other argument is that the Scottish League, obviously it's not the same in terms of standard. I've even heard some arguments that James Trafford, the Burnley goalkeeper, should be in ahead of Jack Butland.
The Scottish League,
just because he plays in the Premier League. I'm not saying that that's what should happen. But do you think there's an argument to say that there's that because James Trafford, who hasn't obviously had the best season because he's been part of the Burnley team that are going down.
I think there would be an issue. I don't think your number one goalkeeper can be playing in the Scottish League. I would say it would be quite awkward to have your number one goalkeeper playing in Scotland. But I think Butland's done enough. And if we're going to not take Ramsdale, which I don't think we should, it's not about the quality, it's about what else you get with Ramsdale. Then I think there is room in the squad for a Butland character. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, being in form is important, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not only about, there were times when Championship players, Steve Ball used to play for England. He wasn't playing in the top flight, but he would still do a job. I think that being in form, being used to winning, is also good. A goalkeeper that's used to conceding, even if he's playing well.
And coming in from a winning team, it's very true. A bit like Ben White could be.